Welcome back, everyone. Wednesday is the deadline on tax extensions. Tax expert and taxation attorney Ronson Shamoun has last-minute tax filing tips to keep more money in your pocket. Good morning.
Good morning.
So you and I were just talking. Some people may be like, wait a minute, I filed back in April.
Right.
So this is if you filed for an extension, you have until Wednesday to file your taxes.
Exactly. You have a 6-month extension from April 15th to file your taxes.
So 2 days. What are some last-minute tips you can give?
Well, I mean, being so super last minute, you want to make sure there's no typos on your tax return. You want to make sure that you didn't leave any deductions out there. You could get a home office deduction, any charitable contributions that were really small. Just make sure that you didn't miss anything. Go over your books one last time. You do have to file this time. So if you are not ready, you still should file. And then if you want to fix it, you could amend your tax return.
That's what I was going to ask you. So say, you know, the next couple of days are really busy for some of the folks at home, and they say, okay, I can file, but I haven't gone through my receipts, you know, with my write-offs, my deductions, things like that. Can they go back afterwards and submit that?
Yes, you could always amend your tax return. So file the return to the best of your ability, and then go back and double check. If you've missed some deductions and so forth, you could amend and reduce your taxes later.
Okay, and then what happens if they just can't get to it within the next 2 days?
If you just can't get to it the next 2 days, I mean, if you file late, you could request a penalty abatement. So sometimes, even if you file late and you request a penalty abatement for some good cause, let's say you had a death in the family or something that really caused you to not be able to file on time, there are reasonable cause exceptions to where you could get an exception for the penalty.
Sure.
So the IRS, there are some things that you can do.
They'll work with you on some levels. So what happens for the folks back in April? They didn't make that. They didn't file for the extension. They just haven't gotten around to file for their taxes. What happens at this point? Do they have a deadline, or they just need to get to it?
Yeah, this is the final deadline. After this, there will be penalties unless you request for penalty abatement.
And then you get late fees, and it just adds up.
Exactly. So it's best to file. If you owe some taxes, there's a lot of time before you even have to pay. You could get on a payment plan.
Yeah.
You could pay your taxes with a credit card. You could even settle your debts with an offer in compromise. So even if you file and you owe a bill, if you call them up and say, I need some more time to pay, I need 90 days, 120 days, or get on a small payment plan until you fix it and file and reduce the taxes, the IRS will work with you.
Yeah, I was going to say, they work with you. It's pretty easy, right? Because like you said, you still have a little bit of a grace period before you get the letter in the mail that says, okay, this is what you owe.
Exactly.
Now do you want to set up payment plans?
Exactly.
Yeah, so you have a little bit of time to get some money.
Yeah, and if you call them and say, I need 90 days, just a complete hold, they'll give it to you, no questions asked.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Anything else? Any other tips you can throw out there for them?
It's always best to go to a tax professional. I mean, you do have 2 days left. There are so many tax deductions that help people.
Yeah.
So it's best to just go to some professional. Pay them the $50 or $100. Run your taxes, even though they're complete. Go to them. There could be an education credit. There could be a child dependent care credit. A home office. There are so many deductions out there. It's well worth it to just pay somebody to do your return. You should never do it yourself.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate your time this morning. All right, guys.